I Have Never Seen Volcanoes by Emily Dickinson, 1830 to 1886. I have never seen volcanoes, but when travellers tell how those old phlegmatic mountains, usually so still, bear within appalling ordnance, fire and smoke and gun, taking villages for breakfast, and appalling men. If the stillness is volcanic in the human face, when upon a pane Titanic features keep their place, if at length the smouldering anguish will not overcome, and the palpitating vineyard in the dust be thrown, if some loving antiquary on Resumption Morn will not cry with joy, Pompeii to the hills return. Okay, this is a poem by Emily Dickinson. Emily Dickinson came from Massachusetts, and let's see, she lived a very restricted life. She always lived in this small town, Amherst, Massachusetts. She was a recluse and people thought her rather strange. She rarely went out. So what's this about? Well, as always, Emily Dickinson, some of her poems are very difficult to get to the bottom of. But let's see, I firstly feel that this poem is about frustration, about the explosions of anger, explosions of emotion. Let's say, I think Emily Dickinson lived in a society where, as an unmarried woman, she had to follow the norms and the rules of society, and there were many things that she was not allowed to do. For example, I believe that higher education was something that she was told was she was not allowed. And I have a feeling that this poem is almost describing the frustration of living as living as a woman in small town America in this time. Let's look at it. So she says, I've never seen volcanoes, but when travellers tell how those old phlegmatic mountains, usually so still, bear within appalling ordnance. So I've never seen a volcano, and maybe she's saying I've never expressed anger. I've never exploded like a volcano. This is something I've always kept inside me. And this idea of a volcano is something of great power, a great explosion, a great frustration inside. And I'm told that volcanoes are phlegmatic. They don't react. They stand still for years and years and years, and they're usually so still. Now, one of the things to notice, and we'll find references to it later, is this was the time when Pompeii had been discovered, where Mount Vesuvius had exploded over the Roman town of Pompeii, and Pompeii was now being discovered. So these volcanoes, they bear within appalling ordnance, fire and smoke and gun, taking villages for breakfast and appalling men. So a volcano has massive destructive power. And I think maybe she's saying that anger is something that has enormous destructive power. And I believe that she has been very frustrated, or she's very frustrated by what she is or is not allowed to do within her society, and it's talking about keeping this destructive power inside, because mountains are phlegmatic, usually so still, but not always. If the stillness is volcanic in the human face, when upon a pane Titanic, features keep their place. So now we've got this metaphor where the volcano is like a human. The volcano not erupting, but the volcano completely still, completely dormant, is like a human face that shows no emotion, that it remains unmoved, even when this person is the receptor of enormous pains. A titanic pain. Notice this is before the ship. This is talking about the Titans. So this is a pain that is felt by the Titans, an enormous pain. But the human face features keep their place. So the face is unmoved. Even though there is huge pain inside it. So it's like a dormant volcano. If at length the smouldering anguish will not overcome, and the palpitating vineyard in the dust be thrown. So if the person can't keep this anguish, this pain, this enormous pain inside, if this anguish, this pain, this volcano explodes, if it erupts, then it will then the vineyard, the body, life, everything around will be thrown to dust, everything will be destroyed. So I think this is saying that if you can't keep in your anger, your frustration, then and you let it out and you vent your anger, then the venting of anger will destroy the vineyard, will destroy your body. The emotions will erupt and everything will be thrown to dust, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. And if this anger is not kept back, if these emotions are let out, then they will destroy everything. If some loving antiquary on Resumption Morn will not cry with joy, Pompeii, to the hills return, so everything will be destroyed. But in this last verse we have, or last stanza, we have a metaphor with Pompeii, a metaphor with resurrection. Because on Resumption Morn, this is playing with the idea of on Resurrection Day, the day of resurrection from religion, the day of resurrection of Jesus. But this is an antiquary. Here an antiquary is talking about an archaeologist. So everything will be destroyed to dust, like Pompeii, unless an archaeologist finds Pompeii again, finds the city that has been covered by the enormous eruption, and it will be shown again to the world. So to the Pompeii, to the hills return. Pompeii is back. So if you give vent to your anger, it will cover and destroy everything and make everything into ash. And then maybe someone will find the old city or the old person who was underneath all of this anger, all of this destruction, and bring it back to life. It's possible. So, I think it's quite a dense idea. I think the poem is saying that there are very deep and strong emotions in the human heart, and this emotion, which could be passion, it could be love, it could be sex, it could be anger, it could be rage. If all of these things come out, this has the potential to destroy the person experiencing these emotions, and these emotions must be held back. These emotions must be restricted, must not be let out. And I think the tone of this is very passionate and very descriptive. But she's saying that strong emotions will destroy us if we let them go, and therefore we must keep these strong emotions inside. And that's why she is the way she is. I Have Never Seen Volcanoes by Emily Dickinson.